Okay, so we are looking at, this is Henry Aiken's weight distribution. Heavy as a whale. So think about the goal of my weight distribution from side control is I need to keep Tyrone flat on his back. For him to escape, he needs to either turn onto his side, winning an underhook, and now he can either get to his knees or put me back in the guard, or he can turn away and do the running escape, kicking out and getting to his knees. But all three of those, which are the main side control escapes, he has to be on the side. So my goal is to keep him on the side. Probably back in the day, that would have been achieved with a cross-face underhook. Okay, I have the cross-face, I'm driving my shoulder into Tyrone. I have the underhook, so he hasn't got the underhook. My right knee's tight to his hip, and then I get hand to hand, and now from there, try it onto your side, bro. So I'm just pinning him with squeeze. Alright, and there's nothing wrong with that. The problem is it's not very efficient. Okay, I'm squeezing him, I'm using my energy, and over a period of time this is like wasting my energy. So we want to be thinking about using my weight. Okay, I'll use my arms as wedges so that if my weight keeps Tyrone pinned flat, then I can use my hands to attack with. So instead of the cross face, the problem with the cross face here and here is my weight is on my arm. I want my arm off the mat. I want all my weight on Tyrone, and I just want to be my feet on the mat, no other part of my body. So my elbow's coming to this side. This stops Tyrone moving his head this way to try and re-guard or get to his knees. My second hand will drape his hip, okay? Because when I start to lift my feet off the mat, just turn this way around. Once I'm here, once I start to lift my knees off the mat, Tyrone, if I don't block this, can hip out and put me back in the guard. So my hand will drape the hip, and now from that position, I'll be putting weight on Tyrone. Let's just shuffle back this way. So, from our position, let's talk about, if he's flat, I want my sternum and his sternum. So really the best way to line that up is, think of your center line. Okay, a line going straight through my chin. I put my chin on his shoulder, so at any stage when I'm trying to keep him flat, my body is on that line of his shoulder. So if I just put my chin on his shoulder, the elbow comes to the far side, and now I cover that hip. Now from that position, more than likely Tyrone will probably have an underhook on me, doesn't really matter, but we'll not worry too much about where his hands are. So if I'm here, this is okay, but I'm not really putting weight on Tyrone. I want to be making him carry my weight. I want him working harder than me. So the first thing is, I lift my knees off the mat, okay? Now from there, the only part of my body on the mat is my right hand and my left elbow. So I'm just going to kind of raise my right hand a little bit. I'm still draping his right hip, but my hand isn't on the mat. And the other thing is, I can still make a wedge here with my left elbow, but if I raise it, now there's no there's no weight on the mat either. Now to put weight on Tyrone, I physically lift my hips higher than my shoulders, and I use my legs to press into Tyrone here. So how does that feel, bro? Good. Try to turn onto your side. And now really, I'm just Tyrone's carrying my weight. So those are the main things I'm doing with my body, and I think the main thing you want to be thinking about is keeping your hips higher than your shoulders and driving with bent legs. Now one more mistake people make is they're tense. If you're tense, you're light. So I want to be sagging. Think of the analogy, I'm like a wet blanket. I'm going to be sagging on Tyrone. He's carrying my weight, getting tired. I'm on top having a rest. So from here, my chin is on the shoulders. I make that wedge, hands corralling the other hip. I lift my hips up, and then I'm just driving, and I'm making sure that the only part of my body on the mat is my toes. Anytime Tyrone sort of tries to turn into me, I can be pushing with my feet staying heavy. And anytime I feel my hips leveling out with my shoulders, I'll just come back again, and now I'm driving it again. Try to turn on your side, bro. And anytime we're playing this position, you always want to be thinking about you do not want your weight on your arms, because anytime your elbow is on the mat and the weight is on this arm, the weight's not on Tyrone. So even though it's hard to see this visually on a video, your elbow's off the mat. It's still wedging, trying to move your head that way, but it's not here, because if it's on the mat, then all your weight isn't on your opponent. So we're going to try that. Heavy as a whale.